highly requested by the viewers and subscribers, Sean's View Entertainment brings back Sean's View and Books Monday Night Raw. Now, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to counter in commercial breaks, promotion, the WrestleMania match card that the WWE is going to preview on Raw, replay after replay after replay. So you have to counter all that into my strategy, my booking, and my rules and my commitment. Remember, this is the final Raw before WrestleMania, so you have to be all in. The WWE has to go above and beyond. The WWE has to draw you in. The WWE has to keep you compelled on the edge of your seat. And, you know, this is kind of like a fantasy booking, but remember, I am trying to go within the limitations that the WWE has set, and we know that the WWE, you know, I'm not trying to book Attitude Era like stuff here, but, you know, it's fantasy booking to a degree. We're going to have a little bit of fun with this. As long as this video gets enough likes, comments, subscribers, and feedback, we will continue this each and every week on the road to WrestleMania. Remember, this is the final Raw before WrestleMania, so if things seem a little bit over the top and seem like things like this would never happen, well, then that's just the way it is. So we kick off Raw in a different way, okay? Differently. We got Ryback versus Kalisto at WrestleMania. Quite frankly, there has been little to no build for this match, so I'm putting some pressure, I'm putting some eyes, I'm putting some attraction to the United States title match between Ryback and Kalisto. So Ryback starts Raw by dragging out Sin Cara to the ring. Ryback then shell shocks Sin Cara. Ryback puts Sin Cara on a stretcher, and as he is rolling Sin Cara up on the stretcher on the Raw ramp, Kalisto tries to make the save, but Ryback takes out Kalisto. He stacks Kalisto on top of Sin Cara on the stretcher, and as Ryback is, pushing the stretcher up the ramp, he's going, "Stupid! Finished! Done!" And Ryback destroys both Sin Cara and Kalisto on the road to WrestleMania. So that builds up the United States title match just a little bit, okay? Then we learn at the 8:15 hour to 8:50 that we're going to get a WrestleMania Rewind match between Triple H and The Undertaker. It's a rematch from their 3 previous WrestleManias. So during this match, Vince McMahon has security at the entranceway. He has security, down near the Raw ramp to make sure Shane McMahon doesn't come out through the entranceway. So as Triple H and The Undertaker are wrestling, we see Shane McMahon come out through the crowd. Remember, the security is at the entrance ramp. So Shane comes through the crowd. This is not what Vince wanted. Vince McMahon did not want to see Shane McMahon come out. Shane McMahon comes down and he attacks The Undertaker. Shane McMahon gets involved. Shane McMahon gets right into The Undertaker's face with his quick jab. Shane McMahon does the Shane shuffle. Security then realizes what's going on. They turn around and they rush to the ring after Vince McMahon said, go to the ring, go to the ring. He came through the damn crowd. You're all going to be fired. So then the security guards come down and they try to break up Shane McMahon and The Undertaker. And while that's going on, all right, Triple H is walking up the stage, all right. Roman Reigns comes out of nowhere with a spear on Triple H. So we're building up 2 storylines, 2 instances at one time. We're killing 2 birds with 1 stone in 1 segment. We're getting a lot of things accomplished in this 1 segment, ladies and gentlemen. So then finally, the referees pull Roman Reigns off of Triple H. So you have Shane getting the best of The Undertaker, and you have Roman Reigns getting the best of Triple H before WrestleMania. But we may have not heard the last of Roman Reigns and Triple H tonight on Raw. Up next, it's Rusev versus Kofi Kingston. Rusev picks up the win, but the biggest story is what happens after the match. The New Day gets beat down by the League of Nations. The numbers game catches up to them. The League of Nations would then handcuff the New Day to the ropes. The New Day has nowhere to go, and they are getting pummeled. They're getting dominated. They are getting destroyed. And then the League of Nations destroys the cereal box of the New Day. They destroy the instrument, the musical instrument of the New Day, and the League of Nations stands tall to go in to WrestleMania. Up next, 9:05 p.m., Triple H backstage, and he vows that Roman Reigns is going to pay for his actions from the spear earlier in the night. Because tonight it's going to be another WrestleMania Rewind match, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar in a Rewind match. This is going to be absolutely huge because this is a rematch from last year's WrestleMania. And then, ladies and gentlemen, as Triple H is making this match, Roman Reigns comes out of nowhere and spears Triple H right through the wall. He literally spears Triple H right through the damn wall. So Triple H once again speared now twice. Once before the match, once during the match, and then once after this segment. So obviously, Triple H is going to be absolutely livid now. Now at 9:12, Dean Ambrose is shown in the parking lot with a barbed wire baseball bat that was handed to him by Mick Foley. Then around 9:16, we get Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch. Sasha Banks picks up the win, and Charlotte appears on the Titantron cutting a promo, but it was already pre-recorded. But Sasha Banks didn't know this, so then Charlotte would come out as that pre-recording's playing, and she would attack both Charlotte and Becky Lynch from behind with the Divas title by locking the figure 8 on both Sasha Banks and then Becky Lynch, sending a huge message before WrestleMania. Then, ladies and gentlemen, a vehicle shows up backstage where Dean Ambrose is. Remember from earlier in the night, Dean Ambrose is backstage waiting for Brock Lesnar. Now, Ambrose immediately destroys the car, the vehicle that shows up. He's thinking it's Brock Lesnar, so he destroys the car. He destroys the vehicle with the barbed wire baseball bat. Takes out the windshield, takes out the door, takes out everything with that, scratches it to shit, right? Well, comes to find out it wasn't Brock Lesnar inside the vehicle, but Dean Ambrose destroyed the vehicle anyway, so Dean Ambrose is going crazy. Dean Ambrose is going lunatical right here. 9:33, Mr. McMahon tries to restore order. He tries to talk some sense into Dean Ambrose backstage, and McMahon takes the barbed wire bat from Dean Ambrose after talking. Dean Ambrose didn't want to give it away, but finally he gave it away. So Ambrose hands over the barbed wire bat so he cannot inflict any more damage. So as Vince McMahon walks away with the barbed wire bat, we then see Dean Ambrose pull the chainsaw that Terry Funk gave him. So now he's got a chainsaw. So you get Dean Ambrose backstage waiting for Brock Lesnar with a chainsaw. Then, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Wyatt family cutting a cryptic promo about WrestleMania. And remember, Luke Harper not involved as he went down with an injury. Then at 9:45, huge implications on WrestleMania. See how I'm building up the show? See how WrestleMania is the main target? See how we're the focal point here? See the consistency here, ladies and gentlemen? Then AJ Styles, Sami Zayn, and Dolph Ziggler versus Chris Jericho, The Miz, and Kevin Owens in a 6-person tag team match. AJ Styles, Sami Zayn, and Dolph Ziggler end up picking up the victory in this one. Then at 10:12 to around 10:15, Roman Reigns tries to talk Ambrose into waiting for WrestleMania. Don't attack Lesnar tonight because there'll be nothing left. So Roman can get a piece of Brock Lesnar tonight, because if Dean Ambrose takes out Brock Lesnar, then Roman Reigns ain't going to have a match against Brock Lesnar. So, Roman Reigns doesn't want that. Roman Reigns wants a piece of Brock Lesnar, but so does Dean Ambrose. But Ambrose just keeps pacing back and forth. And Roman tells Ambrose, don't do something you're going to regret. Remember, this is taking place in the parking lot. So then from 10:20 to 10:30, Charlotte is in a match. Remember, early in the night, she attacked Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch, and she defeated Brie Bella. But then Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch would give a little revenge, a little receipt, and they would take out Charlotte. 10:35, we cut to the parking lot with cops and security and referees being held. They're trying to hold Ambrose off. Okay, they're trying to hold Ambrose away from wielding the chainsaw. And finally, Mick Foley and Terry Funk calm down Ambrose, and cooler heads prevail. Cooler heads would prevail in this segment. Ambrose looked like he was coming to his senses. Then Ambrose is shown getting arrested and taken away from the arena after a commercial break. So as it looked like Ambrose was going to walk away, it was going to be good. No, that was not to be. 10:50, Roman Reigns comes to the ring. Vince McMahon announces that a special enforcer will be for this match. So remember, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, but how is Brock Lesnar going to be in this match? How is this going to happen? How is this going to develop? So we see Roman Reigns come to the ring. Vince McMahon announces a special referee for this match. And before this happens, Triple H is now named the special referee and or enforcer for this match. Okay, and as Roman is about to take it to Triple H again, now this is the official, the enforcer, he's supposed to focus on Brock Lesnar. The Undertaker's gong goes off, right? But, ladies and gentlemen, instead, it's Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon comes out, who targets Vince McMahon. So now you have Shane attacking Vince McMahon. Roman and Triple H are going at it again. The refs pull them apart. And as we go to the back, to the Titantron, Ambrose escapes the cops, takes over the car, and then looks for Brock Lesnar. So now we have a high-speed pursuit. Ambrose looking for Brock Lesnar on the street. Ambrose catches up to Lesnar on the highway. They pull over, and then, ladies and gentlemen, Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose go at it in a true street fight as they are fighting on the streets and wherever the hell they're going to be. I think they're going to be in New York or New Jersey, wherever the hell they're going to be for Raw. And, ladies and gentlemen, that is the final image of Raw, a high-speed pursuit. Ambrose is on the look for Lesnar. Lesnar and Ambrose have a street fight right in the middle of the streets, and then it's pure pandemonium, pure chaos. And, ladies and gentlemen, this is how we're going into WrestleMania. Your comments, your opinions. My daughter right now needs to be tended to because my girlfriend is feeding her right now, and she does a little cry. She does a little sigh, but that's okay because maybe she wants daddy right now. But my girlfriend's taking care of her. My girlfriend's holding her. My girlfriend's loving her. My girlfriend's doing all that she can. And I got to get to my daughter right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching Sean's View Entertainment. She's getting all the care in the world, whether it's me or my girlfriend. There's always care 24/7 for her. Subscribe.